Am I okay like that? Can you guys hear me? All right, welcome everybody. It's so nice to be here and to see you all. Welcome to Unity Center of Stockton. So grateful that you're all here with us, and if you are online, welcome. So let's greet our sacred team, our own Reverend Marianne Friend, William Minifield. Thank you for coming back, joining us. Bill, with Dawn as backup, our jack of all trades. And our usher is Gladys. And if you want to stand, we'll sing our first.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see love on every face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see love on every face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. One more time. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see love on every face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Dear divine and mighty, I am present. We acknowledge your works within us and all around us and in the world. We ask for our awareness of our spiritual connection with you to grow and expand as we delve into the teachings of your beloved Son, Jesus. May your voice be magnified. May your life force grow in each one here today. Great is your dominion and wonderful is your word. Today we celebrate the light and the power and the majesty of you, God. So be it. Amen.
So let's speak together our February sacred prayers. For inner peace, my thoughts still in the state of peace. For love, love is my name, and compassion is my practice. For wisdom, I embody divine wisdom. For prosperity, I am a channel for the flow of abundance. And for health, centered in wholeness, I am healthy. Wonderful. So let's our time to greet each other. Announcements. Important. Our annual membership meeting is February 23rd, which is 2 Sundays, and lunch will be provided. Sign up if you'd like to volunteer. Talk to Mary Ann to find out more. We have lots of little things you could help with. A sacred forum with Jimmy Moreno is canceled on Tuesday nights, but Jimmy will be starting at a new time. He's feeling out what time works for people, so stay tuned. The 5 Unity Principles book study is meeting today. Last one. And a special thank you to Antoinette, serving on the board, keeping us supplied with coffee and supplies on Sundays. We appreciate your time and your dedication to our church. Don't forget, we have the Lending Library, a wonderful collection of classic Unity writers, and then a lot of fellow travelers that people have donated. So you're welcome to borrow a book and enjoy. The silent auction will be open until February 23rd, so 2 more weeks. Make a bid soon. It's fun. You know, it's a way to keep our flow going. Remember, snacks are appreciated and welcome. And I want to read number 5 again. A special thank you to Antoinette for serving on the board and keeping us supplied with coffee and supplies. We appreciate your time and dedication. Anyway, I circled back. Did I get everything? Don't forget the meeting, 2 weeks. And at some point, we need to do our membership renewals too. Yeah. Daily Word. Oh, this is a really powerful one. I thought as I read it this morning, I'm going to pause a couple of these and we can take this statement together. So if you want to clear your lap and drop into your heart space, the word for today is power. I have the power to choose my thoughts and direct my life. Feeling my power from within means I am grounded in spiritual truth and understanding. I speak my mind with calm certainty and change my mind whenever I choose. I live in a state of inner security and mastery. If I wish to make changes, I take dominion of myself and have faith in my innate power as a spiritual being. In the past, I may have looked outside myself to feel powerful, taking on another's beliefs or affiliating with something outside myself. Now I understand true power comes from within. Let's take that together. Now I understand true power comes from within. I take dominion over my thoughts and feelings. Can we say that one? I take dominion over my thoughts and feelings. I live in my confidence, knowing my thoughts derive from divine ideas. And we'll close with this last one together. It's one with God, I have the power to create my life. Together. One with God, I have the power to create my life. For God did not give us a spirit of cowardice, but rather a spirit of power and of love and self-discipline. 2 Timothy 1:7. And I'm all ready to sit down and I forgot what I'm supposed to say. Let's prepare for meditation.
Thy word is a lamp unto my feet lost my way, still you're there right inside of me. Nothing will I fear as long as you are near. Please be with me till the end. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. No, I'll not forget the loving for me yet. My heart's forever wandering. Jesus, be my guide. Hold me to your side. I will love you till the end. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. And a light unto my path. And the light unto my path.
And so we enter into this time of reflection. I invite you to take whatever you may be holding in your lap or in your hands or in your heart and just set it aside for this time together. And bring your attention and your awareness to your breath. And let these words permeate your consciousness. I will read each statement and then we'll rest for a moment in the silence. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the light of the world. I am the light of the world. I am the light of the world. I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. I and the Father are one. I and the Father are one. I and the Father are one. Love one another. Love one another. Love one another. I am the light of the world. I am the light of the world. I am the light of the world. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. Did you not hear me say, you are the light of the world? You are the light of the world. You are the light of the world. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. God is love. God is love. God is love. When his disciples asked Jesus, Lord, how do we pray? He said this, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Leave us not in temptation, but deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. And we rest in the silence with these affirmations of Jesus Christ. And so it is. Amen. Don't leave us, Willie. So good morning. So as you can see, we're going to get the tip of the iceberg on the teachings of Jesus. There's no way I'm going to do it in 30 minutes. But we can get started. So, the teachings of Jesus, the letters in red, what's really going on here? In this day and age, February 9th, 2025. And how do these words help us navigate the turbulent times that we find ourselves in? First of all, we're going to say a few affirmations. We're going to say these with authority. These are I am statements, okay? So I'm going to say it once and then repeat after me, just to get us in that authoritative energy. We're not victims. That's the number one thing that Jesus would want you to know right now, is that none of us are victims. The first one, I am order, peace, and harmony. Together, I am order, peace, and harmony. I am forever one with the healing action of God. I am forever one with the healing action of God. I am one with God's perfect provision. I am one with God's perfect provision. And let the consciousness of Jesus Christ strengthen you as we affirm these words. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Together, I am the way, the truth, and the life. This is a poem by Reverend Dorothy Pearson. I don't know if any of you guys ever watched there was a Unity TV show in the late 80s and early 90s, and it was called The Best Is Yet to Be. And it was put on through Unity of Church of Stockton, which is Rev Kev's gig now, but it used to be Reverend Philip Pearson and his wife Dorothy Pearson, who both grew up with our co-founders, Myrtle and Charles Fillmore. They were kids and grew up in Unity. And then they had co-ministers, their names are slipping my mind right now, but Wayne and Janet Manning. We sang one of Janet's songs a couple weeks ago. Last week, I think. I am free, I am unlimited, there are no chains that bind me. That was it. So they put on a TV show, and it was on every Sunday morning, and it was called The Best Is Yet to Be. And Dorothy was one of the main ministers. In my talk today, I'm giving her credit for a lot of the material. I've been reading her book called Keeping Close in Prayer. It's a wonderful little book, and I used a lot of her material here today. Also, I'm going to be referring to Dr. Emily Cady, who wrote the Unity classic, Lessons in Truth. So this is a poem by Dorothy Pearson. It's called The Way Opens. No matter how complex my life may seem to be, the Christ within tells me there is a way. So much to do the whole day through. Responsibility hangs on me. The Christ within tells me there is a way. These words ring in my heart and mind, and somehow, miraculously, I find, as I pray, the Christ within opens the way. So the statement, I am the way, the truth, and the life, we're going to break that down. And that's the statement we're going to be mainly focusing on today. What does that mean? I am the way, the truth, and the life. The first thing is, I am. When Moses asked the burning bush, are you God, and what is your name? God answered Moses and said, I am that I am. So I am is the name of God. So everything, our power, everything we say after the words I am have creative power. We're creating our reality with our words and our thoughts and our feelings. So the practice is keeping the awareness of our spiritual oneness with the presence of God. The practice of keeping the awareness, our awareness of our spiritual oneness with the presence of God. This has the potential to afford us a lifetime of adventure if we let it. We just have to keep choosing over and over and over again to wake up, to be wide awake to the awareness of our connection to the presence of God. Our spiritual identity is connected, and we just have to be aware of it. That's our practice. that's the whole thing. I'm done. No. We have to consciously choose every morning that I'm going to practice keeping the awareness of my spiritual connection, my spiritual identity that is connected to the presence of God. Keeping that practice active in the forefront of our mind. Jesus of Nazareth was born, no matter what the fairy tale says, was born a human being just like you and just like me. Maybe it was Mary was he was miraculously conceived. That could be true, who knows? But what matters is he was born a flesh and blood human being who made the choice every single day to grow in his awareness of his connection to whom he called the Father, the presence of God. He was a human being, though, just like you, just like me. He was made in your image and likeness. The difference was only in his commitment and his decision to the practice of keeping the awareness of his spiritual oneness with the presence of God. He decided that as a kid. He said, "The Father and I are one." And he meant that literally. That was, "The Father and I are one," from John 10, verse 30. So when we make this decision to make it a foundation of our life, when we do this, we automatically gain the protection. We're protected, we're guided, we're wondrously healed. Just in that realization, deep realization. We're also inspired and prospered. All of the good things the Father gives us. When I say Father, I mean source, universe, the universe. Do you believe in a friendly universe or a hateful universe? Do you believe in a man with a beard in the sky, a Santa Claus God that picks favorites? I know today's the Super Bowl. 49ers already lost, so whatever. Yeah. God doesn't care who wins the football game. God is the caring within you. I was having a discussion, a falling asleep discussion with John last night, and he's like, I don't know how it came up, but he was talking about an argument he's having with his siblings. Not a big argument, but just a disagreement. I'm like, God will fix it. He's like, I'm mad at God. I'm like, why? What are you mad at God about? He's like, he gave you Parkinson's. I go, God didn't give me Parkinson's. That's not how God works. Well, I'm really mad at God for that. I said, well, that's not how it works, because I've been working on my talk, all week, and I'm in it. I'm like, no, God is God. The presence of God in this situation is you being a loving and caring partner, giving me kindness and empathy and patience. He's like, yeah, well, there is that. I am all that. I said, no, God's all that. You're expressing that. You're an expression of God. And I see God through your acts of kindness and compassion and empathy for me. We had made this is another part of the conversation. So we had 2 deaths in last year. Well, one this year. His mom passed away 3 weeks ago at almost 98. And his brother Rob made his transition last year at the end of the year. And so we have a headstone for Rob that needs to get delivered to his resting place. And we have his mom's ashes that need to be spread in she wants them spread in Belimus, where she lived for a short time. So they had made this big plan to do both of these things on a weekend. And with this new challenge I have, Parkinson's, I'm a little scattered from the medication. And they gave me a date for this weekend of doing both of these sacred rituals. And I went in one ear and out the other. And it's the 23rd, the day of our annual meeting. And it hit me. I'm like, oh, we can't do that. We can't do that. And in past relationships, that would have been a huge, I would have gotten in a lot of, I would have got a lot of flack for that misunderstanding. Instead, I have this new husband who is so compassionate and so understanding. He just said, it's okay, honey, we'll work it out. We'll get another date and we'll figure it out. And I was so grateful for that gentleness. Men, be gentle with your partner, whoever that is, with your friends, because we're all doing the best we can. And Jesus would want us to know that when he says, forget God, God forgive them, they know not what they do. I didn't know what I was doing. It was all worked out, but kindness means everything. Empathy means everything. And when we make this decision for it to be a foundation of our life, we're coming into alignment with our true divine nature, the Christ presence that is yearning to be expressed through you. People need it. People are hungry for it. That's what we're starving for in this world. We're starving for kindness and empathy and compassion and gentleness and goodness. And it's up to us to do it. Jesus was a human being Jesus Christ was a human being that became one with the Father, God, the source of all being, the creator or first cause, the beloved. And he did this by his commitment to the practice of keeping awareness of his spiritual oneness with the presence of God. It's simple. Just kept making that decision. And then he went into the silence. He went into the silence. The silence is prayer. It's going in and listening to God speak. In the Gospel of John, chapter 17, Jesus is speaking to his disciples to remind them of the truth of oneness. And he said this, that they all may be one, as you, the Father, are in me, and I am in you, that they also may be one in us. I'm going to read that again. That they all may be one, as the Father is in me, and I am in the Father, that they also may be one with us. And he was talking about his disciples, but he means all of us. Jesus knew his oneness with God, and he wanted us to know that too. And I think, well, then what's the difference between Jesus and God? There's no difference. You want to call God Jesus or Jesus God, it's interchangeable. When I was about 14, I read the book. I had been raised in the Baptist church and knew the Gospels, but I was branching out in my spirituality, and I read the book by Yogananda, Autobiography of a Yogi, when I was 14. And I remember it was one of those defining moments because I've forgotten most of my almost 66 years of moment-to-moment life. But I remember reading that book, laying in my twin bed, reading this book, and I got to the part where it said, he's describing a mantra. And he says, visualize the ocean. And you're starting out in a little rowboat from the shore. And each time you say the mantra, you're rowing. And you're rowing towards enlightenment, one word at a time, one row oar at a time. You're going forward. And I remember thinking, being raised in the Baptist church, Jesus was my best friend, my imaginary friend, who I spoke to, who I prayed to, who I felt saved me in my childhood. And I was right in the midst of it at that point. I was in an abusive home. I was being sexually molested by my stepfather. I was in a hostile environment, in a war zone for a 14-year-old girl. And I remember thinking, okay, so I'm starting my spiritual journey right now. I'm on the shore of this ocean, one oar at a time, one rowing stride at a time. I started repeating my mantra, and my mantra was Jesus. Jesus. And throughout my life, I've forgotten to do that and let it go for years on end. But anytime anyone mentions a mantra, I know my mantra. And it's always been Jesus, and it always will be. So how far am I on the ocean? I might be out of the bay. And it's not about the destination. It's about staying connected on the journey. Jesus said, "Lo, I am with you always." And I mean that. I take that literally. Literally. This cosmic Christ, when they crucified him, I believe he came back. Yes, he did come back. And then he ascended. And how does that look? How did Jesus ascend? He ascended, and that Christ energy was so big it couldn't be contained in that human body anymore, and it burst forth into the world, and sparks of it went into every single human. And it's in every single one of us because of that. Because he raised his consciousness so high that he shared it with you and you and you and me, and it's in every single one of us. So in this discussion with his disciples, he also used the idea of the vine and the branches. And it says this, "Abide in me and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself except it abide in the vine, no more can you except you abide in me." We all have had the experience of cutting the flowers from the main branch, right? And even if you put it in water, refrigerators help them. Even if you put it in water, that flower is going to wilt because it cannot survive after it's cut from the vine. We can't survive either unless we're connected to the main vine, and that main vine is Jesus, or a source, God, Creator, the beloved, whatever you want to call it. If we're cut off, we may thrive in the outer world for a good long time, but we can't sustain it. We cannot sustain it. Our ability to keep consciously one with our source is the key to our life's growth. We may flourish in the outer world, like I said just now, but our connection with the mind, with our small mind within, to the God mind is essential to our continuing unfoldment. It's essential. So how do we stay connected? One way is we stop every few minutes and stay conscious, stay wide awake. Stay awake to the awareness of our connection, our spiritual oneness with the presence of God. I say it every week, and I try and think of new ways to say it. But our connection, we have to be plugged into our source. It's like our phones. We have to charge them up. Our charging is spirit. It's source. It's love. So if we could stop what we're doing every few minutes in our mind, just reconnect, stay woke, stay wide awake as we learn to maintain our awareness to this, our connection to oneness, our connection to God. We have to use our muscle, strengthen it. And as we do that, we'll learn to hold the connection longer and longer and longer. We do that through prayer. We do that through entering the silence. Because you know what? We hold the connection. We are created in that spiritual oneness forever, but unless we know that, we're just flying around. So we have to know it. We have to know it. Only in consciously realizing the truth that we are spiritual beings, living in a spiritual universe, governed by spiritual laws, can we truly live. We awaken to the truth of our being, and we speak words that affirm that truth. We claim our connection. You have to claim it with authority. One great affirmation I love is from Lessons in Truth by Emily Cady. And this is what it says. And we're going to say this together. I am spirit, perfect, holy, and harmonious. Together. I am spirit, perfect, holy, and harmonious. Nothing can hurt me or make me sick or afraid. Nothing can hurt me or make me sick or afraid. For spirit is God, and God cannot be made sick or hurt or afraid. For spirit is God, and God cannot be made sick or hurt or afraid. God works in and through me to will and to do whatsoever he wishes me to do. God works in and through me to will and to do whatsoever he wishes me to do. God cannot fail. God cannot fail. I cannot fail. Can I live up to that? The truth is, not always. Not always. But I'll try my best every single day. That's all we can do. I will forget and I'll learn from my mistakes. And when I make those mistakes, it will remind me to return to my connection, to the awareness of my innate connection to God. To get so close that I realize God, that I realize the truth that Jesus so wondrously demonstrates in his teaching. I am the way, the truth, and the life. In his teaching, lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the world. And I think metaphysically, I think that the end of the world means the end of our life. He's always with us, even then, going forward. So this is another poem by Dorothy Pearson. It's called Life's River. The river of my life flows with constant current. It has its shallows, it has its deeps, but it always keeps this constant current. One way it flows from summit snows to expanding sea, endless, boundless, joyous, free. God is the source, the river, the sea, and me. In the dictionary, the word for person or human being is derived from the Latin persona, or actor's mask. Often the words personality and individuality are used interchangeably, but here is the difference. The personality is the human aspect of you. The person, the external, the persona. And individuality is the real person. The more God comes into visibility through a person, the more individualized they become. Individuality is the part of the one that never changes its identity. It is the God self. It is what distinguishes one person from another. Our personalities may change by being around others, but individuality never changes. That's from Emily Cady, Lessons in Truth. There is an outer expression we all wear, a mask, a persona that we show to the world. This mask is totally unique, and it shows our personal experiences and our own self-image. No one wears the same mask. And yet within every human being, there is an individual calling, a spiritual reality that holds us forever in the presence of God. Jesus spoke to us of that truth in the Gospel of Matthew when we read, "Come unto me, all of you that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Learn of me. You shall find rest for your souls." So let us thank God every day that we can see through the masks, that we see past the personas that we unwittingly wear, and that we can behold the Christ in others and in ourselves. As we keep close in prayer, we find rest and peace as we pray together. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Because giving thanks is a way of life. Waking up with a grateful heart is a way of life. It's the way Jesus taught us to be. Giving thanks to God as the source is the way of the truth student. That's what we call all of us in unity. We're truth students. And giving thanks to God is the way. Knowing the living, loving presence of God as a constant companion is essential to my health, to your health. It's essential for our happiness, for our peace in the midst of all turmoil, and prosperity. Prosperity not just in finances, but in health, in our relationships, in our way of thinking, in how we interact. Are we coming from a sense of lack? Or are we coming from a sense that heirs to the throne, children of God? That everything we need is given to us. All we have to do is stay connected to our source. It's like our phones. If we never plug it in, it'll die and it'll just be a piece of whatever it's all made out of. We have to plug into our source. Plug in your charging cord. When Jesus said, "I am the resurrection and the life," when he said, "I am," he did not refer to the outer expression, but he did refer to the mighty presence of God within, because he repeatedly said, "I of myself can do nothing. It is the Father within who does the work." It is the Father within that does the work in my life and in your life. So today we begin the study of the teachings of Jesus. We will continue this study throughout this year as we navigate the rapid changes in our reality. These techniques will sustain us and keep us grounded in the truth that surpasses all the seemingly distressing news in the world. Hold fast to God in prayer. Hold fast to love. Hold fast to kindness. Hold fast to Jesus' promise. Lo, I am with you always, even until the end of the world. I behold the Christ in you. I love you.
This is the air I breathe. This is the air I breathe. Your holy presence living in me. This is my daily bread. This is my daily bread. Your very word spoken to me, and I'm desperate for you. And I'm lost without you. This is the air I breathe. This is the air I breathe. Your holy presence living in me. This is my daily bread. This is my daily bread. Your very word spoken to me, and I'm desperate for you. And I'm lost without you. And
Thank you, William. If you could give me another round of applause. And thank you, Reverend Mary Ann. This is our offering time. So if you would hold in your hands what you would give to be blessed, we'll say our offering blessing together. Together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
Sweet Spirit, we're so grateful for these gifts that go forward to magnify and expand your dominion in this world. Thank you for each one here. May all of us become more and more aware of your presence and our connection to that presence that is love, that is prosperity, that is wisdom, that is peace on earth. And so it is. Amen. And let's sing our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family, all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be our joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The love of God enfolds us. I am that love. The power of God infects us. I am that power. The presence of God